How was your night?
Oh, it was fine. How was yours?
Good, good. I was hoping you'd be in a good mood today, because I rented a movie. I was thinking after you ate breakfast, we could watch it.
Oh, joy! But, I hope it isn't scary. You know how I scare easily.
Oh, I know. That's why I rented Shrek.
Alright, Shrek, again. That movie never gets old. But hey, Mr. X, you think that maybe we could have some popcorn?
No! I said no more popcorn after what happened last time, remember?
Ah, popcorn! My favorite! Ah, my face! Yes, of course, you're right. Always looking out for the best interest of the audience. You know, I think my daughters used to love popcorn.
Now what did we talk about?
That my family doesn't care about me, and if they did, I wouldn't be here. I think that you bringing me here is possibly the best thing that's ever happened to me. And to think that I was going to stop reviewing games and do something useless like raise my family or try to further my education. Thank you, Mr. X. Thank you.
And you are very welcome. And just remember,
we are the only family we need.
Hey, Two-Bit, it looks like we got a request from a viewer. Someone named Spooky Dave says here he wants you to review Fantasy Zone for the Sega Master System.
That's great! Thank you so much for taking care of the channel so that I can focus on reviewing games.
Well, if you really want to thank me, just give this review your best shot.
Fantasy Zone was originally an arcade game developed and published by Sega. It was released in 1986 and later ported to the Sega Master System. The game eventually saw ports in other consoles and home computers, like the Nintendo Entertainment System and the PC Engine, or as we know it here in North America, the TurboGrafx 16. While all the ports are similar to the original version, the Master System version is missing some aspects of the original arcade, like the radar that shows the location of the bases, or the base's energy bar. Two of the bosses have been replaced by original ones for the Master System. Other ports have several changes as well, but today we are reviewing the Master System version. Fantasy Zone is heavily inspired by Eugene Jarvis's Defender. It has a unique Japanese take on the formula, however, with smoother controls and game mechanics, and a very bright, colorful aesthetic. Fantasy Zone was popular in Japan, though never quite reached the same amount of attention here in North America. Opa Opa, Fantasy Zone's protagonist, was for a while an official mascot for Sega. This of course was the pre-Sonic era for Sega, and they were desperately trying to find a mascot to rival Nintendo's Mario. Opa Opa showed up in the anime Zillion. He also made an appearance in several Sega games like Alex Kidd. Now with these tidbits done, let's scroll left and right and shoot right into the review. The controls are smooth and very responsive. I felt like I was in complete control of Opa Opa. In the game, your ship is placed in levels with bases that must be destroyed. When all the bases are gone, the stage boss appears. Once the boss is defeated, you move on to the next stage. This pattern repeats itself until the final stage. The boss fights can be a little cheap. For example, Stage 3 boss will charge you kamikaze style once it's down to about 2 or 3 weapons. It does this without giving you enough time to finish it off, thus leading to what I feel are some unfair deaths. I eventually was able to overcome this, but I think that was more due to luck than skill. There are 8 stages, and in all of them except for the final one, the scrolling is not fixed, giving you free roam across the board, although the stage does loop. The final level consists of a boss gauntlet of the previously defeated bosses before facing the final boss. Opa Opa, the ship you play, uses 2 different attacks, the standard weapon, which are bullets, and bombs. Opa Opa can also land on the ground by sprouting feet and walking around. You can upgrade Opa Opa's weapons, bombs, and engine to increase speed as well as get extra lives. But to get these upgrades, you must get money by defeating enemies, bases, and bosses. And usually the bosses will yield you the most coin, so you really make a lot of your money off of the boss battles. Every stage will give you access to a shop to spend your hard-earned coin on upgrades. Opa Opa can only use 1 engine, weapon, and bomb at a time, so choose the right equipment that suits your playstyle and the level you're on. Some of the new weapons have a time limit that starts as soon as you leave the shop. Some of the bombs can be used at any moment but are limited to quantity. Engine upgrades are permanent. The power-ups can also be reassigned by re-entering the shop or touch a balloon with the word select written on it. The one critique I have about this little section is I felt that the shop and the select area could have been easier accessed. I believe they only appear like once in a level, but if you die and replay the level, they'll pop up again. The development team, I feel, could have made them pop up a little bit more frequently. It felt random when they would pop up. So, with smooth controls, fun levels with challenging enemies, tons of different upgrades and weapons giving you new strategies to beat levels, combined with the sometimes cheap AI and the randomness of the shop and select area, Fantasy Zone's gameplay gets 3 bits out of 4. The music is done well. I'm impressed with the Master System's sound capability. The music and sound effects are clear and crisp. Speaking of the music, I was not expecting to like it given the cute and colorful theme of the game, but the infectiously upbeat music got to me, and I got into the game and the music lifted my spirits. So all that said, Fantasy Zone sound gets 3 bits out of 4. This game is bright and colorful, and really earns the name Cute 'em Up. It shows off the Master System's unique color palette, but some spots and levels look ugly due to overuse of one color or another, but this doesn't happen in the majority of the levels. The plot of Fantasy Zone is as follows. In the space year 6216, the Fantasy Zone was cast in panic at the collapse of the interplanetary monetary system. The Space Guild brings to light the plans of the planet Minin, whose forces are stealing other planets' currencies to fund huge fortresses in the Fantasy Zone. Opa Opa is sent to stop the invading army and discover who is behind it. Now let me stop here for a second. After reading through this plot synopsis, this is starting to sound a lot like Episode 1's plot. I'm starting to think that George Lucas was playing Fantasy Zone on the Sega Master System when he was writing the Phantom Menace's plot. So at the end, the final boss and the person behind all of this is revealed to be Opa Opa's father, a tragic twist in the otherwise sanguine game world. So in summation, colorful worlds, a decent plot combined with other not so colorful worlds, presentation gets 2 bits. Out of 4.
Fantasy Zone for the Sega Master System is a joy to play. I took a look at the NES port for comparison, and it looks a lot different than the Master System and original arcade version. It also plays a lot worse. So if you're looking for the definitive 8-bit version of Fantasy Zone, the Master System version is the one to look at. My final verdict for Fantasy Zone on the Sega Master System is a must-play and own for the casual and hardcore collector alike. It's a fun, upbeat game that's also very welcoming to people like me who aren't really used to playing shooters. You can find it online for around $16. Well, that's it for this review, guys. Remember to stay safe and play on.
That was great, 2-Bit. I'm so glad you finally realized that I'm your best hope of making sense of this crazy world. Hold on. What? Oh, wait. Hold on, 2-Bit. I'll be right back. And you know what? Since you did such a good job, if you're really quiet, when I get back, I'll give you some popcorn. If you let me blow on it first.
Alright! Alright.
Hello?
Hey sir, how you doing? My name's Donovan. I'm out here passing out these flyers. It's about a missing person, Sean. You might know him off of YouTube.
What's this?
Jesus on
No, I don't have internet connection. YouTube, this guy? Well, I've never seen this ugly guy around here before.
I got you. Well, anyway, if you see anybody that looks like him or anything like that, can you contact that number on there?
Sorry, I can't
We're
help
trying
you.
to locate him. He's been missing for a few days now.
All right then. Goodbye.
Anyway, I'm sorry to bother you, sir. Have a good day.
You be safe and play on.
What did you say? You son of a bitch! You know where he's at! You son of a bitch! Where is he? You know something!
A little shots for you, Scarecrow. It's about time you showed up.
Take one, final verdict.
Final Fantasy.
My final verdict.
My final verdict for Fantasy Zone on the Sega Master System.
You're fine.
Fantasy Zone for the Sega Master System is a really fun game. I did stuff to it that I'm not proud of.
Where did Kevin Spacey taught you Fantasy Zone? That's gonna have to go into the blooper at the end.
I did some stuff to it that I'm not too proud of. Fantasy.
All right. Yeah. All right, be safe and play on. What the one is my dad? Hello? Who's there? What's this? No. No, I don't go online. Too much about Hillary Clinton on there. Hillary. I got some Kool-Aid if you want it, dog breath.